Let's talk about shrinkflation. Some people told me that the president made a commercial during the Super Bowl about shrinkflation and how it needs to stop, that you're not getting as much for your money anymore. And you have some people saying, well, that's because the products cost more, that's because the gas costs more, that's because this costs more to make the same amount, right? It's not what it is. It's simple as greed. Let's just use Powerade as an example. It used to come in a 32-ounce bottle, right? Now it's 28 ounces, and it used to be $1 or less for that 32-ounce bottle, and now for 28 ounces, it's $2 or more a bottle. Companies have a set profit margin they want to make. Let's just say they make $10 million a year profit. That's after all their bills are paid, their employees are paid, their taxes are paid, everything. Power bill, water bill, everything's paid. Their insurance, everything's paid. They got $10 million sitting there. Okay? They shrink the product down and charge you more. What are they doing? They're doubling up their profit margin. It's not because they're having to pay you or me more an hour to make the product or because they're having to pay X amount more for the ingredients of the product. They're figured out, hey, we can rip these people off. We can charge them more and put less in it and people buy it. And that's been going on way before President Biden took office. Peanut butter was one of the first ones. You started seeing that dent in the bottom of the peanut butter jars. But everybody knows the Tater Chip debacle, how you buy a bag and it's half full. But plain and simple, shrinkflation is nothing but greed. It's not supply and demand. It's not because they're paying more for the products that they're putting in their product. It's because if that was the case, they had to shrink the product because they're having to pay more, right? Okay, well, why is your profit margin doubling or tripling at the end of the year since you did that? You're having to pay, John over here more money. You're having to pay Susie more money an hour to put that in that. But yet your profit margins are doubling. They're not going to cut into their profit margins. They're just not going to do it, right? Do I think prices will ever come back down to pre-pandemic levels? No, because they tested us during the pandemic. How high can we take a product before people quit buying it? All right, they figured that out. And then they're like, how far can we take the product to keep anybody from complaining about it? Well, see, they learned all that during the pandemic. Plain and simple, it's greed. Greed, everybody involved in the circle, it's greed. It's not supply and demand, it's none of that. They know they can get more money out of your pocket for less stuff that you're buying, and they know people will complain, but yet they'll keep buying it. And that's how they are. It's greed. How do you fix it? I don't know. Prices are never going to come back down to what they are. The new normal is we're going to pay high prices for everything. Let me know your thoughts on this. Stay safe. Keep your head on the swivel. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Protect yourself and your family at all times. At that moment, you're the only person that can do it. Comment on this. I want to know, do you agree that shrinkflation is simply greed? It has nothing to do with how much they're having to pay more and having to pay these people more to make it and stuff? Or is it just plain out greed like I think? Stay safe. Keep prepping.